Hello and welcome to Open, the show opening the Bronx and the rest of the world to you. I'm Kyrie Moody, filling in for Darren Jaime, and today we'll update you on what's happening in our borough and New York City. Coming up, Earth Day is around the corner, and New York City is hosting a festival that brings interactive workshops, live performances, and hands-on activities. We'll take a look at what to expect and how you can get involved. Next, today is 2026 tax deadline, and if you haven't filed yet, there's still time to take action. From last-minute tips to how to file for an extension, we'll break down what you need to know before time runs out. Then spring is in the air, and it's the perfect time to refresh your tech life at home. From smart home upgrades to home office essentials, we'll show you the latest tech tips to make sure your home is safer, smarter, and more enjoyable this season. Lastly, the 48th annual Run The Bronx is bringing together runners and walkers for a celebration of fitness and community. We'll take a look at how you can register and be a part of the action. So stay tuned. All this and much more is headed your way because we're now officially open. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Kyrie Moody, and you are now watching Open, a program bringing the Bronx and New York City straight to you. Don't forget to stay connected to us on all social media platforms at Bronxnet TV. Some things have been going on throughout this past week. We'll take you through it with some Bronx updates. In local news, a new exhibition by photojournalist Nicole Tung explores the hidden realities of overfishing in Southeast Asia. The work reveals the environmental damage and human cost behind the global seafood trade, challenging us to consider the true price of what ends up on our plates. Our Bronxnet reporter Brittany Schuyler has the story.
A new exhibition at the Bronx Documentary Center offered a rare look into one of the world's most urgent environmental crises. Photojournalist Nicole Tung documented the realities of overfishing across Southeast Asia, spotlighting the environmental and human toll behind a global industry.
What I wanted to show was the scope of the seafood trade, which is often very opaque and illicit in its nature.
The exhibition followed a 9-month investigation supported by the Foundation Carmiac, revealing how Southeast Asia, responsible for more than half of the world's fish supply, faced rapidly depleting waters and rising competition over resources.
It's important for any community because this is, it's a social disaster, it's an ecological disaster. This is really the bottom of what we can do as a human species.
Through on-the-ground reporting in Thailand, the Philippines, and Indonesia, Tung captured a largely hidden industry where access remains limited and regulation often fell short, exposing the fragile balance between economic survival and environmental sustainability.
I didn't realize the extent of it until I saw the photos and read the text. So it's a serious issue and it affects everybody.
The work also highlighted the ripple effects of the industrial fishing, from damaged marine ecosystems to the collapse of local livelihoods, while raising concerns over illegal practices and ongoing human rights violations, including forced labors.
But I heard stories from Indonesian fishermen who had witnessed, murders at sea. They themselves had experienced abuse on board.
From local fishing ports to international markets, the exhibition traced the journey of seafood supply chains, revealing the often unseen cost behind what ultimately reached consumers' plates, and questioning whether current solutions could keep pace with growing global demand. Reporting for Bronxnet, Brittany Schuyler.
Thank you, Brittany. In other news, Hostos Community College is shedding light on little-known stories of Asian American and Pacific Islander communities in the Bronx through a project called AAPI New York Stories from the Bronx. Our Bronxnet reporter Ashley DeLeon has the story.
At Hostos Community College, a new project is bringing long-overlooked stories to light, highlighting the history and impact of Asian American and Pacific Islander communities in the Bronx.
So the Localized History Project is one of RE's largest and most important projects. It's basically young people researching the local histories of Asian American communities where they live.
AAPI New York, Stories from the Bronx, brings together educators, students, and community members to share personal histories rooted right here in the borough.
My peers and I at Localized History Project presented our current archival exhibits that we've been creating for the past semester or year, like Clarissa's, and I think it was just so nice to have such a group of people that cared and wanted to listen to my story about Vietnamese nail technicians, because again, Southeast Asian narratives have always gone unheard, and just because you didn't hear about us doesn't mean that our existence is erased.
But beyond history, the project also highlights how AAPI identity is shaped right here in New York, blending culture, community, and Bronx pride.
I don't think that many people know that there is a Pacific Islander community in Riverdale, so that's something. And I also think that, it'd be surprising to find that, we have a lot in common. It doesn't seem like it on paper, but I think that, once you get to know more and more Pacific Islanders, you realize, wow, we are, really similar.
Attendees say that these stories are often missing from classrooms, leaving many AAPI students without a connection to their own history.
And these are the kind of things that I think should be a normal part of the school curriculum. We call it the curriculum of inclusion, but I call it the curriculum of correction.
As the project continues, leaders hope that these stories won't just live in events like this, but become a lasting part of what students learn in the classroom. Reporting for Bronxnet, Ashley DeLeon.
Thank you, Ashley. That's all for the Bronx updates. We have to take a quick break, but we'll have more open when we return.
We're gonna start the show right now. This is my favorite part. Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, this is Angel, and I am one of the instructors for the in-studio production. Here at Bronxnet, we offer classes that can help you elevate, expand, and start your television career. All you have to do is sign up at bronxnet.org/education. For the past 7 years, I have been in various productions, spanning from talk shows, independent films, news reports, art displays, teachings, musical performances, and many more. Ain't that right, Angel? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Angel. There are a lot of creative individuals that we're just waiting to sign up for the class. And if I may, can I also express that? Thank you, Angel. That's all the time we have left. Visit bronxnet.org/education and become a producer by taking the course. The class I offer is also in English, en español y también bilingüe. Nos vemos en la próxima clase.
There's a new channel to explore, and it's bringing the classics back to life. During the day, relive the Bronxnet originals that sparked conversations and built community. At night, dive into the hip-hop throwbacks that defined the generation. One destination, two powerful lineups. Now playing on Optimum Channel 952, FiOS 2138, and streaming at Bronxnet.tv. BX Legacy, where history meets the moment.
Welcome back. Earth Day is celebrated around the world to raise awareness about environmental challenges, being a time to focus on climate action and sustainability. The Earth Day Initiative is hosting its annual Earth Day 2026 festival in Union Square, featuring interactive workshops, live performances, and activities for all ages to learn how to protect the planet. Joining us to talk more about this festival and the organization's work is King Oppermann, Executive Director of the Earth Day Initiative. Thank you so much for joining us, John.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So can you tell us about the Earth Day Initiative and its mission?
Yeah, absolutely. So Earth Day Initiative, we're a nonprofit organization. We've been around for many decades organizing large-scale Earth Day events and a series of year-round programs to engage the broader public in environmental conversations. So we get a lot of interest from folks who want to move things in a positive direction. They're asking, what can I do? What can I do to green my lifestyle, to lower my environmental footprint, to get involved in my community with various sustainability initiatives? And we really just try to provide answers to that. So we're really connecting people with all the great work that's happening in the New York City area. So there's all kinds of groups from grassroots little nonprofits in their communities up to big multinational ones like World Wildlife Fund or Sierra Club. And we're able to connect people to all the stuff that they can do to get involved, to make small changes in their lives, to make a positive impact, because we see there's so much demand for that, and we want to make it as simple as possible. So that's really our mission.
And what is Earth Day?
Yeah, Earth Day, the official day is actually April 22nd, but our big festival this year is on Sunday, April 19th. And we usually hold our big festival a couple of days before actual Earth Day, because so many of our partners have some sort of Earth Day activation they're doing. So maybe there's a volunteer event, maybe there's a clothing drive. There's various stuff that people are doing. So then the partners that we have involved in our event on April 19th in Union Square can let people know about what they're doing. And Earth Day is just this moment every year where people really just want to do something. I usually compare it to, it's like New Year's, but for the environment. So people want to have some kind of like New Year's resolution, except for green stuff. So it's this moment where people are like, what can I do to impact the environment? What could I do to change my lifestyle? How could I eat in a way that's more sustainable? How could I minimize my waste? So people are setting these resolutions and these goals around Earth Day. So I always sort of compare it to like the environment's New Year's.
And how does our daily activities such as eating, whether it be certain habits that we have, maybe like smoking or just our lifestyle in general, how does it affect the earth, and why is it important that we take more attention to that and how our lifestyle affects what's going on here on Earth?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of ways that we impact the environment. One of the biggest ways is with the food that we eat. So we have to eat to live, but the food that we eat can have a big impact on whether it's good or bad for the planet. So meat in general is not great for the environment. There's a lot of climate emissions that goes into producing meat, and there's a huge amount of water consumption that goes into it as well. So one thing that we advise people to do is switch over to more of a plant-based diet. That doesn't mean everyone needs to go vegan today or vegetarian today. But what you can do, that some partners of ours coined a term for, is be a reducitarian. So it's the idea that you're just reducing your meat consumption, and maybe you choose like 3 days a week, you're going to eat lunch that's plant-based, or 5 days a week, you're going to eat lunch that's plant-based. So setting a goal that's very specific and measurable and actually accomplishable. So not just cutting all meat out of your diet if you've never been a vegetarian before, but going step by step and maybe increasing those number of meals per week. But the food is a really big piece of what goes into an individual's environmental footprint. Another piece that I find that people really feel a lot is their waste, because everyone has the experience of all the stuff you throw out every day. So you throw something in the garbage and you just feel like, man, I generate so much waste every day, and you're really conscious of it because you're doing it all the time. And what we talk to a lot of people about are some simple ways of reducing waste. So one is another related to food, actually. So food waste is a huge part of our environmental footprint, and Americans throw out a huge percentage. I think the number is like 40% of all food generated actually just gets thrown out at the end of the day. And people don't feel great about that. You know, everyone has that experience of like, oh, we finished this meal and there's all this food left over and it's just going to the landfill. So one thing is being consistent about composting. So New York City now has a pretty robust composting program. So you can find places to drop off composting. Often it's in your building. And then you can also pay attention to expiration dates. So expiration dates across the country are not really uniformly regulated. So there's best by dates, there's use by dates, there's expires on dates. That's not really set by science. A lot of times industries or state by state regulation determines what that date is, and a lot of times it's totally arbitrary. It has no basis in fact. So what happens is we see that and we trust, oh, someone who knows this put that date on there. That's often not really true. So what we advise people to do is trust your own instincts. We evolved for thousands and thousands of years without expiration dates. We were cave people that had to determine if food was good or bad. You know, based on sight and smell, is this food good? And you can trust those instincts and a lot of times ignore those, because what it's really doing is it's making you throw out food that is perfectly good just so you go buy more food. So that's a good way to reduce that waste.
Wow. So you said reducitarian. Okay, that sounds like something I need to tap into. Tell me, what are some of the activities about the festival? I know you had mentioned that it will be activities of, especially for all ages, of how to protect the planet. What are some of those activities look like?
Yeah. So the event is really meant to provide something for everyone. So this is the festival this coming Sunday in Union Square. And it's kid-friendly activities. There's stuff for adults. It's all kinds of ways that you can make an impact, whether you want to volunteer with a local organization, you want to find ways that you could be crafty at home and reuse materials. We have live entertainment. There's kids' performances. There's interactive workshops. There's a art installation, actually a couple of art installations focused on sort of climate anxiety and the anxiety that we might feel with this looming climate crisis and our environmental challenges. We also have an ice art installation. So it's this giant sculpture built entirely out of ice, which is fun for kids to check out. In particular, I think it kind of sparks their imagination. There's a lot of different craft projects that kids can take part in and take home something that is tangible and like a fun crafts project. So there's all kinds of stuff that people can do from 12 to 6 at that festival, really for all ages.
Nice. And you know, for people who would like to attend the festival, you know, what do they need to know in advance before attending the festival? Is there a sign up or is this a free open event where anybody could come in?
Yeah, so you can find more information at earthdayinitiative.org and click on events there, but it's free and open to the public, so no need to register in advance. There's no ticketing system. You can just walk in. It's very welcoming and anyone can attend. You can sign up for more information if you want to at the website, just to get a reminder at earthdayinitiative.org or on Instagram at earthdayinitiative. And it's really meant to just be all-inclusive, provide something for literally everyone. So if your thing is food, if your thing is waste, if your thing is renewable energy, whatever it is, there's something there that can resonate with you, and you can find something that you can take home and that's really actionable at the end of the day.
And what role do you think art, music, and culture play in inspiring environmental change?
Yeah, I think art and culture provide a huge boost for awareness around our environmental challenges. So there's always been a very close marriage between advocacy and art and culture. So we have a really vibrant stage lineup with our festival. So there's performers, there's some speakers giving interactive presentations. There's some really dynamic performances providing folks with an insight into the challenges that we face and the solutions that we should be moving toward, including kids theater groups. There's a performer that's very popular called Hill of the Earth, where she's in a giant Earth outfit. It's like literally a globe, and it looks ridiculous because then she wraps in that globe, and people just like their faces light up seeing that. We also have those art installations that I mentioned, and some of them are very interactive. So there's a way of engaging in conversation with the installation. So there are people there in a sort of living room setup having conversations live, and you can sort of share your own thoughts on this subject of what are we doing, how are we going to move toward climate action in this very scary time. And then the ice sculpture, for instance. So that will be this ice sculpture that's really melting in front of us, and it's a really interactive visual thing where you might see it 1 hour and then it's completely different the next hour. And I think that this art piece really provides something that resonates with people beyond just statistics. So, you know, you could read a report and you could read scary headlines, but they're not going to resonate with you as much as these really emotional, visceral things of culture and things that tap into us as human beings with these performances and art and all the ways that we can communicate in ways that aren't just numbers.
Wow. Well, that was interesting, John. I think I'm officially a reducitarian after today, just to jump on board with you guys and everything that you guys do. So thank you so much, John, for joining us. For more information, you could visit the website at earthdayinitiative.org and follow them on social media at Earth Day Initiative. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Open.
What's up, creative family? Discover your voice with Bronxnet Community Media classes. Are you ready to bring your ideas to life? At Bronxnet, we offer television production classes for community members ages 18 and over, empowering you to share your vision with the world. Get certified in field production, in-studio production, and our new exciting addition, podcast production. Once certified, you can create your own show to air on one of our 6 TV channels. It all starts with our free Unleash Your Ideas Masterclass, designed to help you plan your show idea and set you up for success on your production journey. This class is offered at the beginning of each month for your convenience. Our dedicated Bronxnet team is here to support, encourage, and uplift you every step of the way. Join us and become a part of the creative force that engages and inspires the Bronx community and beyond. Sign up today and start your media journey with Bronxnet. Visit bronxnet.org/education to learn more and register. Let's create something amazing together.
Welcome back. Today is the deadline to file your taxes, marking the final day for millions of Americans to submit their returns or request an extension. As many rush to meet the deadline, last-minute filers may face common challenges like missing documents, simple errors, or uncertainty about what to do next. Joining us to break down last-minute filing tips, common mistakes, and what to do if you need more time is Yolanda Durant, Stakeholder Liaison from the IRS. Thank you so much, Yolanda, for joining us today.
Sure.
You know, just tell me what are the most important things taxpayers should double-check if they're filing at the last minute?
If you're going to mail in your tax returns, now that the post office has a new standard of how they're stamping mail, we do say that you need to have it mailed in by April 9th so that it's actually stamped by the 15th. This is a new change, so people are accustomed to filing on the 15th and getting it stamped to say that it's timely, but with those new changes, it's best that you mail them out by April 9th to make sure that they are timely.
And what are some common mistakes that the IRS has seen in the final days of filing for taxes?
People just missing documents, so they're not including things that can help them receive a refund or maybe some deductions. Simple math mistakes, not carrying your numbers to the right lines, things in that manner.
And how can filing electronically help reduce compared to filing, paper?
Well, most of the softwares are there to help you. They're asking you questions along the way, whether you use a free software or a paid software. The questions are there to help determine if everything is correct.
Okay. And for people who may be missing documents, what's the best course of action to take?
Well, you can get transcripts directly on irs.gov if you're missing like income documents or 1099s if you're self-employed. That's one way of going about it. If you know the agency, for example, deductions, going right to them and trying to get a letter or statement. I tell people it pretty much starts at the beginning of the year, going down your list, what you need, therefore you can just check them off.
And if I miss the deadline or community members miss the deadline, is there a way we can go back? Or if I submit my taxes the last minute, but I'm also missing documents, but the day has passed, can we go back? Or
So if you believe by now that you're missing documents, or you know for sure an agency is just always late with their documents, I would file for an extension, which will give you until October 15th to file. If for any reason you're missing documents and you just want to make sure that you're filing, that is always an option. If you know for sure that you're going to receive a refund, you can actually delay it a little bit. If you're going to owe, we always recommend trying to make a good faith payment because you don't want the interest and penalties for filing late.
And when you say request an extension, what does that look like?
Yeah, you just fill out the form. You say that you are requesting an extension. You estimate if you believe you're going to get a refund or have a balance. Now, an extension provides you more time to file your taxes, but not to pay your taxes. So the deadline for payment will still be the 15th of April. So it's best to make the payment up front or set up a payment plan.
Wow. So when you say payment, are we aware of the payment that we have to pay back to IRS beforehand?
Some people are just estimating when you file for an extension. You're not 100% sure. Maybe you filed with the documents you already have, and it shows that you're going to have an outstanding balance. So then you would either pay what you have estimated so far up front or at least submit a good faith payment.
And why would you say it's important to file for taxes? Especially with this new generation of young people coming up, they may not know or understand the importance of filing taxes. So speak a little bit about that.
Depending on your major and the industry that you work in, it's something that they will check. If you're going into banking, finance, real estate, they're going to check your credit history and your filing requirements. When you're applying for credit cards, you're applying for cars, you're applying for homes, all of that information is going to be needed. It's not something we want to do, but it's something that will pay off in the end.
Okay, and when it comes to payments, do you guys set up payment plans or are we expected to pay everything right then and there?
If you cannot pay, you can always set up a payment plan. You can do it yourself directly online, so you don't need to wait online or make an appointment and come in, depending on how much you owe. If it's under the $25,000, you can set that up yourself. And you can set it up as low as $25 a month.
Wow, okay. Are there any last minute credits or deductions people often overlook when it comes to filing late?
For this year, I feel like people will overlook all of our new changes underneath the one big beautiful bill. There's no tip on overtime, no tax on tips, and then we have a higher deduction for our seniors or require you to fill out a Schedule 1A. So if you do not include the Schedule 1A, you may not be able to get those deductions because it is a new form.
So, and to help people avoid being overwhelmed, what's the earliest you suggest to file for your taxes?
There's really nothing to file early. I say gather their information early. Therefore, you're not scrambling at the last minute as you're getting documents. Have a folder, have a checklist of what documents you need. If you know for sure you're going to do it yourself, know what software, if you have an accountant, schedule your appointment. Planning is the key point.
And tell me, because I never understood this myself, why the payback? Where does that come from, where we have to pay back the IRS? And if we receive the money back, where does that come from as well?
So it both starts with your withholdings if you are a general W-2 employee. Your withholdings is how you pay into the system. So every time you get paid, your employer is taking out the withholdings and paying it into your taxes. A lot of people change the numbers so that they have more money on their paycheck, which means less money is being paid into your taxes. So when you receive a refund, it first comes from your withholding, meaning you overpaid throughout the year. And then we'll factor in credits and deductions, which can also enhance the refund amount. And when you owe, you have credit and deductions, but you didn't pay enough in, so it's causing a balance. And for our gig economy, self-employed, our small business owners, they forget you are the employer now, so you have to pay into the system with your estimated tax payments. You're no longer the employee and have an employer doing it for you.
And when it comes to my job, how do I make sure that I'm paying into my taxes?
Sure. So you fill out a W-4 with your employer. It's on the payroll HR system. You can always ask for a copy, make sure it's updated, make sure it's correct. If you are married filing joint, there is a box that says, do you have two jobs? So if you are married filing joint and each of you have a job, technically you should be checking that box to make sure the calculation is correct. And we also have a withholding estimator directly on our website at irs.gov. So you can go in, use your last pay stub, and make sure the withholding amount is correct.
Is there any age limit on taxes?
No. It's income-based, not age-based.
Okay, so how does it look for retired people?
So it depends. If you're getting pensions, if you're getting Social Security, if you have a part-time job, a gig economy, you want to see what portion, if any, of your Social Security or retirement is actual taxable and what portion is non-taxable. And then even though you may not have taxable income, if you're a homeowner and you have certain deductions, it's in your best interest to file because you can probably get a small refund. So you're just leaving money on the table even if you don't have taxable income.
And then do you guys have agents that work on site that people could come in to see, or do you guys want people to just go online or go through other agencies that handle taxes?
So we have a VITR location, which is a voluntary tax assistance, and they're open during the filing season. They are there for low-income taxpayers, and they can help you actually file your taxes for free. If you have questions after you file, let's say with the new changes, we are actually going to a monetized payment. So we're looking for direct deposit information for your refund. If you asked for a paper check or didn't provide us direct deposit information this year, you're going to receive a letter looking for that information, which means your refunds are going to be delayed. So if you have a letter you don't understand, call or make an appointment at a local walk-in office, especially the seniors. They like the face-to-face. So we do have local offices, and some of them are actually open Saturdays to help people out during the filing season.
Oh, and if I make a mistake on my taxes after the filing date, how does that look?
So you'll receive a letter. It may say you're missing documentations. It may say we don't believe that you are eligible for this credit, and then that would be up to you to correct it. Or it could just be a simple math mistake, and we'll just say you've made a mistake on line X, and we've already corrected it. If you believe we made the mistake, then of course you can make an appointment or write a letter or just come on in and then speak to somebody.
And that's if somebody has a response or a question such as I didn't receive the right amount, or I don't think I should have received more. That's pretty much a common person.
Right.
Nice. Well, I learned so much about the tax season. For more information, you can visit the website at irs.gov. We got more here on Open right after the break.
There's a new channel to explore, and it's bringing the classics back to life. During the day, relive the Bronxnet originals that sparked conversations and built community. At night, dive into the hip-hop throwbacks that defined a generation. One destination, two powerful lineups. Now playing on Optimum Channel 952, Fios 2138, and streaming at bronxnet.tv. BX Legacy, where history meets the moment.
Welcome back. Spring is the time for renewal, and there's no better time to revitalize your digital life. From upgrading your home office and boosting your connectivity to adding energy-saving solutions and techie lifestyle enhancements. There are so many ways to embrace the latest in home technology. Joining us to share some tips is digital lifestyle expert Mario Armstrong. Mario, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, it's good to be on with you, Kyrie. I appreciate it. What's up, Bronx? Good to be on with you people as well. The Boogie Down is in effect. I've partnered up with some great brands here. As you can see, I have some products that I brought with me because I really want to talk about some of the things that we can do to upgrade your homes this spring.
Yes, tell me a little bit about it. What you got there?
Well, the first thing I was thinking about, apartment living, the Bronx, fast pace, tight spaces in many spaces. And so your apartments, right? The first thing I'm thinking about is safety. And it's springtime. So what can we do to make sure that we're safe? So one of the things that a lot of people may overlook is cleaning, maintaining, or testing, and possibly replacing your smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. Because these alarms are like mini computers, and they have sensors in them. And those sensors can be impacted by dust. It can lead to wear and tear, or worse, false alarms. So I love Kidda's 10-year battery-powered smoke and combo alarms. They can pick up carbon monoxide as well as smoke detection. It's got the latest sensing technology. It's going to just help you stay better protected longer. So I know we'll get into some of the home efficiencies with like other things and also how to maybe make it look a little bit nicer in your place. But I think it's also the perfect time to make your home safer too.
And what are your top picks for a more efficient home office?
Yeah, and many people are working from home, and with busy lifestyles, you got kids in school, you got your thing that you're doing, so you're doing a lot of printing, and I can't stand it when a printer doesn't work when I need it to. So the Epson EcoTank ET3950, this is my perfect home office upgrade because for busy families and creatives, it won't run out of ink when you need it, and it won't run out of paper. And the reason why is because this printer is cartridge free. It has high capacity ink tanks. And so you get up to 3 years of ink with it right out of the box included. So you're saving money, you're avoiding those last minute store runs. It prints fast, color looks great, double-sided feature if you want to use that. And it's got a 250 sheet tray. So you can put a lot of paper in there and not have to worry about running out anytime soon. So it just runs smooth, and I think it's a great upgrade for the home office.
Nice. And from working or learning from home, what tech tool makes the biggest difference?
I think for me, man, that's a, whew. And so, I mean, what tech tool makes the biggest difference for working from home? It's got to be the laptop. Like, you got to have a laptop that's up to date, modern, is fast, connects to the Wi-Fi the way you need it to, lightweight, portable, that you can take it with you anywhere, but also great battery life. Like, you need one that you don't have to worry about looking for an outlet everywhere you go. And that's one of the other things when I looked at a printer too, I was like, you got to fit it in small spaces. We all don't have a lot of room. So I want a nice diesel printer that's stock, that's really great, professional, but I don't want it to take up my whole apartment so that I have space. So those two would be my things that I think would be the best.
And, you know, tell me a little bit about what's one of the essential home reset we all should be doing right now.
Well, I think maybe, you know, after you do the home alarm, the smoke and carbon monoxide alarm, that's a major one. But then I think if you're looking for design, then I think the GE Smart Shades are a great pick. And I think these are good because they can replace your manual blinds with, like, my son just did this in his apartment, and he's up in Harlem. And so this is like a sleek, cordless, motorized system. It's whisper quiet. It's easy for you to self-install. And you can choose blackout fabrics. So we all want more privacy in the city.
Wow.
So you could have that, or you could have more light filtering options. And you can control them with the included remote or using your voice with Alexa or Google. You could be, say, open shades or closed shades. The GE Smart Shades is just a simple way, I think, to give your space a quick, modern look without breaking the bank.
Listen, my taxes need to go right to that because that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. You know, what are some common mistakes that people make when upgrading their homes?
They overspend. So for in your case, you're like, hey, how can I spend smartly? So these products that I'm talking about here, they don't break the budget. You can check it. Some of them at different prices. So just go to the website inthenews.tv and you can see, and they have different features that you may or may not want. But I think number one is what actually is a pain point in your day. I know we got bills and other things to deal with, but I'm talking about like in your space. Are you constantly having to clean something? Are you constantly having to fix something? Is something not working well? Or do you need to turn something on when you're not home? Would you like to walk into your place with your lights already on? Do you want to set the temperature? Like, what do you want to do? So I think thinking about what's really important to you and then just picking that one or two upgrades and keeping it cost effective.
Very good, very good. And, you know, just tell me, what is your favorite tech upgrade that you recently bought for yourself?
Man, that's a really great question. I don't have it with me. It's in my bag. The DJI camera, the DJI
the Osmo.
3. The Osmo, thank you. The
there
DJI
you go.
Osmo 3. That thing has been awesome for shooting video on the go. If any content creators, or I even think people that should just be, look, many of us have skills and we're not documenting how we use our skills. And if you could document that in video, people could see how they could maybe want to work with you, collaborate, create more opportunities. So I often say, document what you're doing and then share that with the world. Don't keep it to yourself. Let people see what you're about. So to me, the DJI Osmo 3 helps me just run around. I don't have to hold my phone and scare people. I can just quickly shoot what I need to shoot or do interviews. So I think that's been my best upgrade in tech.
And where can we go for more information?
Just go to our website or my Instagram. The website is inthenews.tv, inthenews.tv. Instagram, if you got questions, tell me you saw me with Kyrie, and just hit me up at Mario Armstrong. Send me a DM, and I'll get right back.
Okay, so I'm going to send you a DM because I'm going to need them shades. Okay?
All right, Kyrie, I got you.
Cool.
We'll connect. We'll follow each other for real.
Thank you so much, Mario. For more information, you can visit the website at inthenews.tv. Stick around. We'll be right back.
57% of New York City high school students are college ready by their senior year. "55% of high school graduates either have no plans to attend college or are uncertain that they will ever attend. "34% of young adults don't go to college because they can't afford it. Discover what's possible. Bronxnet's education programs, internships, and opportunities help engage and inspire Bronx youth and beyond to pursue their passions. Be a part of the Bronxnet family. Whether you're interested in our shows, joining a class, or donating to support our mission, visit bronxnet.org to learn more.
Welcome back. Run the Bronx is a long-standing community event designed to promote health and fitness in the Bronx, providing a chance for residents and visitors alike to get active and celebrate wellness. In its 48th year, Run the Bronx will feature 10K and 5K runs, a 2-mile fitness walk, and a health pavilion with resources for participants of all ages. Joining us to talk more about this event and how to participate are Robert Whelan and Deivid Valdez. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Can you tell us the origins about Run the Bronx and its connection to the Bronx Community College?
Run the Bronx started with our president at the time, Roscoe Brown. Okay. And between him and 2 graduates, Henry Skinner and Joe Ramos, they thought about a best way to engage the community, have them come to the campus, see the beauty of the campus, and to promote health and wellness. And they started with the idea of a run around the campus. And then they were like, no, we can do better than that. So let's do a run on the concourse. Let's really show them the borough. So that started with the 5K, the 10K in 1978, and then we've added the 2-mile and then the 5K years later.
Wow, and tell me, how has it evolved over 48 years? That's way before my time. So, it had to be some changes, whether it be the number of participants, the areas that you guys run to. Talk about that.
Would you like to talk about it?
Sure. We've added the 2-mile walk because we realized that a lot of people, the 10K was a bit much at times. And then about 20 or so years ago, we added the 5K. And the 5K is actually one of our biggest races. 5K is 3.1 miles, a 10K is 6.2. So we realized that the 5K has become very large for us, and that was an addition that we did over the years, just changing it up. Numbers have skyrocketed in the last few years. We're close to 2,000 participants. We should be over 2,000 participants this year. And it's kind of funny, humbling from the original 1978 of 50. So you can see how the numbers have grown.
Nice. And just tell me, some people look at running and walking as not exercise. Tell me about the importance of walking and running in our daily lives, especially when it comes to being fit.
I personally think that people underestimate the power of walking, just walking. Every day I walk to my office 25 minutes, and it makes a big difference. Sometimes when I'm on vacation, I'll take a few days off, and when I come back, I notice the difference. And I think that people think that in order for you to be a runner, you need to run a marathon or, 21K, but it's just those little steps that you add every day that add up, and I think it's a big difference.
Nice. And what other initiatives are in place during Run the Bronx to educate participants on healthy living?
Well, the Run Pavilion and the Health Pavilion is a big indicator for us, and it's something that we do that's separate from other runs. A lot of other runs are just, you start, you finish, and that's it. We have the Health Pavilion because we've realized that physical health, mental health, financial health are all interconnected. I've seen a lot of people who have physical ailments, and it affects them financially, it affects them mentally. People who have mental issues, it affects them physically, affects them financially. So we try to combine all 3 aspects of health into the Health Pavilion and the Run Pavilion itself. So we'll have banking, we'll have insurance, we'll have military there as well to kind of promote more of a healthy lifestyle of all areas and all ages.
And tell me, what is like the daily, hours that people should set aside to exercise, to walk, to run? How should that look?
I would suggest between 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
I think if you are 30 minutes every day just to do some type of cardio, you will notice the difference in the long run. Definitely, I think that's a ballpark.
Nice, nice. And what are some success stories that you guys have from Run the Bronx since you guys been on board with it?
You know, we take a look at our numbers. We have so many people from the Bronx itself. About half of our participants, a little less than half of our participants, are high school and below. That's very big because we're starting with the young, making sure that they're healthy now so they grow up to be healthy adults.
Yes.
That's a very important aspect. For me personally, finding people who have come from India, Great Britain, Australia, and ran our race, that's just fun. That's just like one of those moments where you're like, yeah, this is a big event.
And that's excellent. You know, the Bronx stands as the unhealthiest borough in our city. Why is promoting health here in the Bronx important?
I think it's really important. For me, I have lived in the Bronx since I was 14, and Run the Bronx was my introduction to running.
Wow.
As a student at Bronx Community College, my professor offered extra credit if you participate in the race. That's how I started. Many years later, this is me right here. I'm a runner. I have run 19 marathons, including 6-time New York City Marathon, and it all started at Run the Bronx.
Wow, and that's a good way to involve the young people, you know, which is my next question. How do you guys get young people involved? You know, what does like the promotion looks like at Bronx Community College? Is there like some type of fun way that you guys go about it to get them involved?
Well, there's two ways we do it. Number one, for the really, really young, 5 and below, we do have a Pee Wee Pavilion for them.
Nice.
Which will have bouncy house, face painters, obstacle course, things just for them to make them involved in the run while their parents are out on the course. The other one we do is with our high school and below and with our CUNY students. They are free.
Wow.
Until April 25th, they are free. They have to go onto our website, at our BCC website, bcc.com/runthebronx, and they'll have the promo code there. And then from there, they can register for the run for free.
Nice. And what is some support that you guys offer at the run? Are you guys on the side with water? Are there water stations? Are there like certain things that they could re-up their energy? How does the race look the day of?
Yeah, we have 4 water stations outside, and also people get support on campus, warm up and stuff like that. I think Run the Bronx is a really fun, family-oriented event. For me, it's seeing parents running with their little kids in the stroller. Sometimes when people bring their dog, I think Run the Bronx is an event that deserves more visibility in New York City, because I think it really embraces what a community event is.
Nice. Have you guys have any like support from elected officials, or, you know, any support from other organizations that come together? You guys, you know, make it actually a big thing?
Oh, without a doubt. With our elected officials, Karina Reyes, Tapi has been a big one. Karina Sanchez has been a big support of us. So on that side, yes, they have been. We've been getting a lot of sponsors, which have helped us financially to make sure that it is free for K through 12 and high school and below. Montefiore has been a great sponsor. Bronx Care has been the longest sponsor that we've had for, I don't know how many years they've been with us. Popular Bank, Union Community Health, UFT. There's a lot of sponsors. Bronx Pro. I can go on naming quite a few more that I might be forgetting at the top of my head right now. But without our sponsors, we would not be able to offer the youth and to make sure that they become healthy adults.
And how would somebody be a sponsor? You know, how would somebody donate? Is there a certain place that they could go to?
Same place on our website. They'll find all the information there. We have our sponsors. We actually have the logos of our sponsors on our page itself, so they do get enough marketing, presentation, and they're visible.
Nice. And, you know, what is the preparation for the run? What should it be, you know, for community members that may be watching this and they want to get involved with it? What should I prepare myself? Because, you know, I just can't run out there and do no miles of running if I'm not a usual runner, right?
Yeah. I think one of the reasons why we decided to have also the 2-mile walk is for the people that sometimes comes last minute. They don't have the time to, let's say, do an 8-12-week training program. Usually I would suggest someone to run a 5K for the first time, at least to give themselves 8 to 12 weeks of training.
Okay.
But if you don't have the time, because we have 1 month, I suggest you join the 2-mile walk or do the 5K and just do a run, walk type of event. I think it will help. But definitely 8 to 12 weeks of training usually.
And from you guys' personal experience, what's the best sneakers that you guys like to wear to the run?
I personally run with Adidas. I like, I've been using them for a really long time, and that's for me, is what worked for me. They have a really good shoe now, it's called the Evo SL, and I think that one is good for everyone, for every distance.
Okay, so what if the community members want to be involved, but they don't want to run? Can they volunteer the day of?
Absolutely.
Nice.
We need plenty of volunteers, both on the course and on campus, handing out bananas, handing out the oranges, handing out the water, and even the medals. Every participant who takes part in the 5K, 10K, or the 2-mile receives a medal.
Wow, that's really encouraging. And I had another question. When it comes to, I'm having a brain fart, guys. When is the race? What day is it, and what time does it start?
Saturday, May 2nd.
Saturday, May 2nd.
We've been grandfathered into the first Saturday in May. It's been the first Saturday in May since 1978. It'll be the first Saturday in May until 2178.
Wow.
Yes.
And what do you guys hope that the race involved? Like, do you guys want to see more participants? Do you guys want to see more younger people? You know, how does that look like, look into the future?
Yeah, definitely. I always dream of, you know, a really large type of event that everybody wants to come. As Robert said, all the time we get people from different countries. Like one person last year, I connected with him through our Instagram page, and he was coming from England, and you know, I guided him how to take the train and things like that. And I think that seeing that, my hope is that we get a lot more people from outside, you know, not just the Bronx or New York City, but from other places.
Wow. Is there a deadline to sign up, or is it still open to register?
It is still open. It will be the early bird ends on April 25th. The last day of actual registration for us online is April 30th, but there is day of registration.
Nice. And last question, what time do you guys expect runners to be there the day of?
If they picked up their packet earlier, between 9:15, 9:30 when we start the opening ceremony, and at 10 o'clock, the horn sounds.
Nice. Well, thank you guys so much. I'll probably be there to report. I ain't going to run, but I'll probably be there with my camera and my crew. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
For more information and to sign up, visit the website at the screen below and follow them on social media at Run The Bronx. We've come to the end of our show today. I'd like to thank all our guests for joining and you, the viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the recablecast on Optimum Channel 67, Verizon Fios 2133, or watch anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. You can catch a brand new episode of Open with Rena Valentine on Friday. I'm Kyrie Moody. Stay safe and stay blessed.